My life was never as perfect as I wanted it to be. I was very obnoxious and stubborn as a kid, but so careless and curious about the world. I took an interest to technology early on. I would always reach for my dad's camera when he tried filming our memories together. And because I was given a tablet at a very young age, I mostly grew up on the internet. Most of my time I spent on YouTube. Watching other people make videos made me want to make some as well. But then when I told my parents about it, they brushed it off and said, "We'll let you once you're 18. They later changed their minds, obviously, but 10-year-old me was devastated. Meanwhile, my elementary school years were a little messy. I switched schools halfway through, joined a student council, and got a girlfriend. Somehow, it wouldn't take long before I got to middle school, where I got the advice to continue my studies at the most difficult educational level in the country, because my teacher at the time believed that I had it in me. So, reluctantly, I went through with the advice, and found myself in an unfamiliar environment with barely any social skills to guide me through. The pandemic at the time didn't help with that either, so I became very introverted and quiet all the time. Mostly because I didn't know how to make new friends. They just came naturally in my elementary years. I'd get comments from my counselors on how I was the silent force of my class. I performed well in school and did what was told of me, while barely uttering a word. I never took a real opportunity to work on socializing, so it took me by surprise when I had made my first friend 5 years ago, completely on accident. I'd arrived late to class for a field trip and was forced to partner with the only kid that I hadn't paired with anyone yet. We ended up really getting to know each other on that trip, and it was some of the most fun I'd had at school up to that point. Soon after, I would get to know someone else whose friends I'd connect with too. And thus, over the years, a friend group started forming. Online, I was having fun doing YouTube. I started picking up a bit of traction and met some really great people. My grades were good, and I was actually enjoying life. That was until junior year rolled around. I would start comparing myself to other people more. I'd watch as people my age or even younger were achieving so much more than I was. Whether it was winning prizes, going places I've always wanted to go, and doing things I always wanted to do, but I never really made an effort to do those things myself. I just sit at my desk doing nothing, not working, not doing any sports, not engaging in fun activities after school. The only time I would really go outside was for school, so I'd get jealous of them, unrightfully so, and I hated myself for it. I never really tried to better myself either, so that daunting feeling stayed inside, bottled up. For a while, longer than I wanted it to, it started getting really bad around the start of senior year. I would even cry myself to sleep sometimes, and I wouldn't talk to anyone about it. My behavior did change, and I'm sure the people around me could pick up on how I felt, but I never made an effort to properly speak up about it. I didn't want to make it their problem. Looking back, I probably shouldn't have been so distant, but in some way, I managed to not give up on life. I couldn't, at least, not now. I was so close to graduating. Didn't want all that progress to just go to waste. So, I locked in again. I focused on my exams, got a job on the side, tried new things on my channel, all while trying to feel better. And as soon as I finished my midterms for the last time, there was still one thing left waiting for me. The central examinations are known as the hardest high school exams of the nation. They cover all topics from each subject of the past 6 years into one single paper throughout the entire month of May, and they differ depending on your educational level. Were you to survive those, then you'd finally be able to graduate. Knowing I was doing the highest educational level, I knew it wasn't going to be easy. Despite all that, they weren't as intimidating to me at first. Since I did well on my midterms, doing poorly on those examinations wouldn't leave as big of a dent on my averages. Then again, I still decided to study for them. I'd quit my channel for an indefinite period as well, while I tried figuring things out. It wasn't until 2 days prior to kickoff that I realized an important requirement for graduation. Known as the 5.5 rule, which meant that the average of all your results from each final exam would have to total to a passing grade for you to graduate. In other words, midterms barely mattered. They were basically mock exams to prepare for the national papers. Having only realized this a few days beforehand, I was absolutely distraught. But I went in anyway, my head held high. And while some tests went worse than others, I didn't really know what to think in the end. It could go both ways, I'd tell anyone who asked about my expectations. And when I finished writing my final exam, I felt free. At last. A weight lifting off my shoulders, a burden that had piled up over the past 6 years that just crumbled away in an instant. I didn't have to worry about school for at least 3 weeks. I wasn't sure about my results, but I didn't care. If anything, I'd forget about it all the following few days. I was about to spend the next 3 weeks doing whatever the hell I wanted to, because it was the first time in nearly half a decade where I didn't have to worry about my education. I hung out with friends, played a few games I'd always wanted to try, and went on a week-long trip to Germany with some friends from school. We visited cathedrals, theme parks, we played random games, made food together, and other doohickey that just felt fun to do. But when we got back, the dawn of results day would itch closer to home. And I got more anxious by the day. As the nerves piled up, my sleep kept getting worse, and my vision of the future kept getting more blurred. Thursday, June 11th, 2026, at 12:47 p.m., my phone rang. My academic career was never as perfect as I wanted it to be, but at that moment, I didn't care. I didn't have a single care in the world. I had done it. I had done the thing I'd been working on for, been counting down for, been waiting for my whole life. I received so many nice messages, so many nice presents, so much love. And in the end, I felt empty. Wait, what? But I did it. I completed my biggest goal in life. I graduated. And that's how I act? Why? Am I really that ungrateful? What could possibly stand between me and that stupid diploma? Well, ironically, myself. Who are you? Is a question some might get from time to time. I mean, sure, if I were asked that question, I could probably state my name and age, but after that, maybe my hobbies? What, I like making YouTube videos and playing Roblox? I wouldn't want to tell somebody that. I was too embarrassed to, anyway. But would it be the truth? Yes. And would I be able to say anything else about myself beyond that description? No. So, over the course of the past few months, I've tried to figure out a proper answer to that question. I started learning a new language. I tried practicing art. I learned how to cook a little. I even made my very own short film. And after all that, am I anywhere close to being the perfect self I would want to portray myself as? No. And I don't think I'll ever be. But it's good to set a lot of goals, because once you do one thing, you'll soon move on to the next. And that's the beauty of it. Setting goals for yourself to be better and better, and maybe leaving a little mark on the world while you're at it. I really want to try and better myself, I do. But for some reason, I still never did. And in the process, I've made some mistakes that might have hurt others over the years. And I'm going to try and make up for all of them, because as someone wise once told me, words can only get you so far, unlike taking proper action. In the end, I'm grateful to all the people that have surrounded me well my whole life. My family, my friends, online and offline, my teachers, my classmates, the 2 strangers that congratulated me for my graduation as they were walking by the infamous flagpole, my stupid cat who's way too needy all the time, and you, all of you, of course. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching. You help shape these core memories that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. And this definitely is not the end. I'll still be around, of course, just with new dreams ahead of me. I'll still be the same old douchebag you know me as. So, as a final send-off, hi, I'm Pixelites. I just graduated from high school, and I'm starting a new chapter in my life. And I plan to do so by living my life to the fullest. Living my life the way I intend to live one. I may be challenged in size, and I'm not the brightest, but I'll keep my goals ambitious, even if they seem too far out of reach. I'll try to keep looking upwards, even when the path downwards seems easier to tread, because it's always important to remember to keep dreaming big, even when things in life may seem too small, or something I was never really good with quotes.